In the waters of a lake in southeastern Europe, old artifacts and a new mystery have recently surfaced. This is Lake Ohrid. It's located on the border between Albania and North Macedonia. And near the lake's Albanian shore, divers and archaeologists say they've found the remains of an ancient settlement, what could be the oldest known settlement in Europe. They believe it was once a lakeside village of stilt houses, named for the stilts they were built on to stay above the water. Several hundred people might have lived in them thousands of years ago. The mystery? Archaeologists say there's evidence the village was fortified with thousands of wooden spikes, possibly to protect it, but from whom and why are two secrets the lake is keeping for now. This is The World from A to Z with Carl Azuz. That's me with the A and the Z. It is so good to see you again. If you're kicking off a brand new school year, thank you for doing that with us. The World from A to Z is your objective view of international news events, and we're returning to the Central Pacific Ocean today to update you on the devastating wildfires that have scorched the Hawaiian island of Maui. Over the weekend, officials there said at least 93 people had been killed, though some were still missing. Thousands of homes and buildings are believed to have been destroyed. Losses are expected to be worth almost $6 billion, and Hawaii's governor estimates that 80% of the historic town of Lahaina has been lost. The state's position in the Pacific makes it vulnerable to typhoons and tsunamis, but this summer's wildfires in Maui have been one of the worst disasters in Hawaii's history. Officials don't know yet how they started, but dry conditions and high winds, worsened by a hurricane that passed hundreds of miles away, made the threat worse. Officials think it'll take years for Maui to recover. Help is on the way from around the world, and the U.S. government has declared a disaster there, which speeds up federal aid to those who need it.
A world of knowledge. Which of these countries is located on the island of Hispaniola? Aruba, Jamaica, Haiti, Honduras. Hispaniola is divided into two countries, Haiti and the Dominican Republic.
An American nurse and her daughter are free and safe after spending 2 weeks in captivity in Haiti. The women were in the island country working for a Christian aid organization when they were kidnapped on July 27th. That organization, El Roy Haiti, says they are healthy and unharmed after being released last week. Kidnappings by gangs who hold their captives for ransom are common in the Caribbean country. We don't know if a ransom was paid for the nurse and her daughter, but El Roy Haiti says U.S. government officials and private consultants helped get the women released.
Haiti is one of the poorest countries in the world. More than half its population lives below the poverty line, and it has a long history of instability and violence. Why so many problems? Well, hurricanes, earthquakes, and rundown sanitation systems carrying disease all pose threats to the island nation. It sits on a fault line, and since 2010, two massive earthquakes have left more than 200,000 people dead and another 1.5 million homeless. But the island nation's problems go back much further than that. After gaining independence from France in the early 1800s, Haiti went into debt to the European country. That hindered Haiti's financial growth. A series of corrupt governments, interference in Haiti by other countries, including the U.S., and deep political problems have challenged the island nation since then. In 2021, the Haitian government lost control in many areas after its president was assassinated. The prime minister started governing the country, but it's supposed to have both a prime minister and a president. Hundreds of gangs filled the power vacuum, and many Haitians started fighting back on their own. Kidnappings, physical attacks, and gun battles with police became more frequent, and many people left their homes entirely, saying it became unsafe to send their children to school, go out at night, or run their businesses. There have been proposals to send international peacekeepers to help stabilize Haiti, but a previous effort to do that, which wrapped up in 2017, failed to have a lasting impact on the island country. I'm Lindsay Wolfgang Mast for The World from A to Z.
On this date in world history. The Paris Police Ordinance of 1893 is probably not a major topic in your world history book, but it did something that was eventually copied around the world. It established license plates on motor vehicles, in Paris anyway. More and more cars were hitting the road in the 1890s, so French authorities needed a way to keep track of them, especially in cases of accidents. The licenses also brought in revenue that the government could use to maintain the new roads. On this date in America, 1935, the Social Security Act was established. This provided regular government payments to help retired workers and other groups. Social Security now constitutes 19% of all U.S. government expenditures, the largest of any category. Finally, on this date in 1947, Pakistan gained its independence from the United Kingdom. Independence Day for neighboring India would come a day later. In terms of population, the city of Hong Kong, a special administrative region of China, is not the largest in the world. About 7.3 million people live there. But Hong Kong is the city with the most skyscrapers. It has more than 540 of them, with skyscraper being defined as a building that's at least 492 feet tall. One thing that's interesting about these skyscrapers is their scaffolding. What's used to maintain and repair buildings in Hong Kong is far different than what you'll see in Singapore, Chicago, or Seoul. The scaffolding here is bamboo, lashed together with strips of nylon.
If dangling above streets, hanging onto a bunch of bamboo lashed together sounds fun, head to Hong Kong. Locals nicknamed the workers spiders because of scaffolders' agility on the web-like lattice. These two men are in training, part of about a dozen students who sign up each year to learn the traditional scaffolding technique, which dates back centuries and was once a widespread practice across Asia.
To work in this field, you have to be brave. You have to have a daring heart.
Trainees start with the basics.
For the first half of the month, we are on the ground, learning and practicing how to tie the knot properly.
And they keep practicing those knots over and over and over. Next, how to put on a safety harness. Then, step by step, how to build to the top, learning to firmly saddle the bamboo frame.
One leg is hooked to anchor us to the scaffold, while the other leg is used for support. So my right leg has to be the point of contact for support. If my supporting leg is put back as well, then I'll fall. So you need to be aware of where your supporting leg is and be stable before you can free your hands to work on something else.
Scaffolders work on buildings from residential flats to towering skyscrapers at dizzying heights. Hong Kong is one of the last modern cities in the world where bamboo scaffolding is used. Elsewhere, it has been swapped out in favor of steel and aluminum. Preserving the ancient technique is important to many, but the popularity of bamboo scaffolding in Hong Kong is partly due to price and efficiency. Bamboo is readily available and less expensive than metal.
So this is a crazy coincidence. On Friday's show, we called out Mr. Aldridge's students from a school in Colorado whose mascot is the Mustangs. We'll check it. Today, we've got another Mr. Aldridge and students at a school in Nebraska whose mascot is the Mustangs. These horses are running at Millard North High School in Omaha. In the Sunshine State of Florida, it's great to see the students of Santa Lucis High School in Lantana. Mr. Woods, you are awesome like Fridays. You've probably seen those dishwashing commercials that show you can always use Dawn if you need to clean your duck. Well, apparently it works for bears too. Workers at Zoo Knoxville were cleaning the bear pool while the animals were away, but the bubbles stuck around. And since the cleaning liquid is safe, zookeepers decided to see if the bears would be interested. Well, this one was. Finn the black bear boisterously bathed and basked and barreled and bounced in the bountiful bubbles at bath time. Now, he didn't talk about it, but the Earth signs suggest he had a great Ursa day. Gave him claws for celebration. He didn't have Omni before. It wasn't winter, but he was dormant for this. He wasn't sleepy, but he gave it hibernate out of 10. Will another day dawn when such an opportunity bubbles up again? You better bear leave it, Bearby. I'm Carl Azuz. That's the world from A to Z. You are the best part of what we do.